Good morning. I'm higher vibrations, and so are you. And happy summer solstice or winter solstice, depending on where you're tuning in from at this time. And part of the celebration of the solstice is we're having a free Meet Your Soul Family Zoom meeting. It will be at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And for those of you on the other side of the planet from where I am, you will be meeting us on, it'll be Wednesday, the 22nd. So just look in the description as well as in the comments for the link. It will not be aired or recorded anywhere. It's just a bunch of us on this awakening journey, like-minded people gathered in one space where you can be seen, where you can be you, where you don't have to explain, for everyone already understands. It's a bunch of us with all these different skill sets that bring them to the table to help each other in love and compassion. I hope that you can join. There's a lot of amazing energies coming through right now, and a lot of individuals are finding themselves to feel some type of a panic as a result. You know, and it's kind of an innate response to change, a panic or a worry or a concern. The unknown and the mysterious things, those tend to elicit some type of reaction in a cautionary way, but just please remember that this is good. These changes are amazing. This shift that we're doing is beautiful. And yeah, as these energies flow through us in this more intense, beautiful way, so does like all of this other stuff that needs to move through us and to be healed. You know, a lot of us are feeling specific ascension symptoms right now related to this. It's beautiful that we're having all of this occurring at the solstice, which is a very significant day in our calendar. However, it's not just that it's the solstice, it's that we have several planets aligning. And they're all actually there at this moment now. And it's just intensifying, and the energies are getting stronger and more beautiful. I'm sure there's also solar flares occurring. I haven't checked the Schumann resonance today. However, there's a buzzing energy that I'm feeling. And so I know that kind of thing is being activated right now. We're having a lot of joint discomfort as a result of this. We're having a lot of headaches, pressure in our sinus, throat, and lungs. It's all seems to be related. There's not very many of us who have all of those areas affected at the same time. Some do. For the most part, there's a specific area that's being affected. The throat chakra activation stuff is still fully underway. There's a lot going on right now in this region that, you know, we are beings that up until not very long ago, we were being told that 95% of our DNA is garbage. They're calling it junk DNA. 95%. In some cases, 90%. That is a lot of garbage to put into a creation, to put into something that you love. Obviously. Anyway, those things are now known to not be garbage. And those things are turning on for us. We're having DNA activations left and right. And as this stuff moves through us, the areas that need to be healed, and I'm not saying healed, physically healed, but there's ways that our body communicates with us to let us know what emotional trauma needs to be focused on and worked on at that time. An emotional story, an underlying storyline down there somewhere, whether it's an ancestral healing thing that you're doing, or if it's from your own past life, or maybe you're linked into the Akashic records of all, and you're healing every one of those different tragedies, which is why a lot of us have been through such a tragic experience in our younger years in life up until now. For me, I noticed I would get certain kind of back pain, and that was telling me that I need to deal with some kind of betrayal experience, you know. And as I dove into that, I started to see scenes of various different experiences, whether or not they were my own lifetimes, it doesn't really matter. Scenes of moments where Someone had mentioned, hey, she's the one that knows this stuff or can do this thing or whatever, which da-da-da-da kind of stuff. You know, when we didn't understand exactly what beautiful healing powers we were quashing. And so there was some healing to be done in that betrayal region. And all that it was that needed to really happen for me in my experience is that it needed to be seen. I didn't need to sit there and like draw it out. I didn't need to dig into the story and find out whose names and the areas and all those different things that are about that story. It's simply that it needed to be witnessed for the moment that it flashed into me, into my mind. And that's all. I found it difficult not to explore it further. However, I found out through Archangel Michael's message that came through to me was that by doing that, I'm holding it in place because I am doing what's called judging it. When we judge something, whether or not whatever we're deciding it is, holding it up and weighing it out and looking at it very closely, that's judgment. That's a time where I'm not letting it move on. I'm keeping it here, imprisoned. And so my job for me and my mission is to acknowledge these things without judgment and to release them. I release them with love and with thanks. Even if they're unpleasant experiences, they still have value. They still had purpose. They had a reason for existing at that time. And this thing that has swept our world of ignoring something hard enough that maybe it'll go away. Instead, all that does is it holds that energy in this stasis. It's suspended and lifeless and motionless, and I am unable to move on. You know, and to understand the forgiveness that needed to be applied to self as well as others around us. You know, we spend so much of our time focusing on we need to forgive and forget, right? Like we've heard that forever. But, you know, if we forget, then we also forget to forgive ourselves. And if we forget, is that actually forgetting or are we ignoring it? You know, and the way that I was brought up, it seems like we just spent our time trying to ignore things rather than actually deal with it. And so now all this stuff is coming through. It's coming through so it can move on. It's ready to go. It's ready. And it's asking, no pleading. Help me move through. And we are conduits, guys. We are like these bridges, these beautiful openings of a portal, if you will, from this space to the next, from this dimensional frequency to the higher ones. And so these things are coming to us, not to hurt us, not to cause us disharmony, not to cause any kind of discomfort, simply because we are the ones they are brought to so they can go. Just acknowledge them. You existed. Thank you for your service. Now goodbye. You're done. And then let them go. Almost a command, if you will, when you say goodbye, because there's still a bit of energy that isn't sure or certain where it wants to go. As we do that, a lot of these ascension symptoms do slow. They become a little less intense. However, I gotta be honest, I am so exhausted these past few days in particular, but for the past few weeks, it's gotten slowly more and more intense. And I'm just exhausted all the time right now. Ears ringing all over the place. Weird eating habits have kind of spiked up, you know, like bursts of joy and also melancholy in the moment that is just within one breath. It's crazy. But know that this is just something, this is a turbulent space at the end. It's that part when you're opening the gate and it's rubbing up against the taller weeds that haven't been able to really get cut back yet. Because that gate of light, it's been kept closed for a while, right? And now as we're pulling this gate back, and this beautiful love is shining through and swelling over all. It's a little bit rocky, but you're okay. I love you all so much. You're not alone. You're with us. We came together, and here we stand together. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for your service. It's worth it. You made it. I hope you're having a lovely journey. Aho blessings.